No, it's not surprising. I think, when the guy's played football, and been in college, and obviously he graduated, so he's bright. When we investigated into bringing him here, we heard really good things about his character. And to be honest with you, I mentioned something to Austin Allen the other day at practice. I said, boy, that was a nice, free agent acquisition there, wasn't it? And the surprising answer, well, not surprising, but what Austin said, he said, yeah, coach, and he's a great guy too. He says he fits real well, and I think that's probably, I think the biggest credit to David is that he's come in here and really fit in and been a good teammate and earned really the respect of all the guys in the locker room.
What do you think about the way that three-man tailback rotation has kind of developed?
I think it's been good. We've obviously, through 4 games, we've made a huge commitment to running the football. We had 51 rush attempts this week. I think we had 45 rush attempts against Texas A&M. I think we had 25 pass attempts against A&M and 26 pass attempts this last week. So, I think, with our commitment offensively to running the football first and foremost, and then, obviously you can't do it every down. You can't become predictable. You got to have balance, and you got to do things in the pass game against the people we play. But when you're going to run the ball as much and as frequent as we run the ball, to have 3 guys, I think, is essential, and I think it's good. They all got pretty much, I think 10 to 12 to 15 carries this past week. Mix in, some wide receiver stuff and some supplemental runs in there, miscellaneous runs we call them, and I think it's awesome that we have 3 guys that can feed off each other. They have different running styles. They do different things well, and it's a good group.
You got Stewart and Jones more involved in the passing game. What do you think of that? And what about those guys?
Really, it'll really help us. Jonathan Nance had emerged. Jordan emerged a little bit against A&M running the ball. You saw his athleticism. Now to get Dion and Jordan involved in the pass game, and Jonathan Nance in the pass game, and C.A.J. O'Grady in the pass game. Cantrell and Jeremy Patton we feel good about. We throw the ball to the backs. That's the whole idea of this offense is try to make them defend a lot of different players. I think that's when we're best. So the emergence of those guys is really good. Love to see T.J. Hammonds get going a little more. We got to help him as a staff. We got to get creative and get him some more touches because I think he's getting close to having a breakout game, and we think he's very talented as well. But that will only help our running game. We want to run the ball, and then all of a sudden, bam, you're play action it, and you're getting some shots. Throwing bubbles to Dion and Jordan. Those guys got great speed. You can stretch the field horizontally now as well, and it all fits in really nicely when it's working.
Joe, you got to go on the jet plays the week before. You didn't pass it to him in that game. You got to help him, touches.
Absolutely, confidence. I think he had a couple long runs in that game. I think everything, you build confidence, whether it's running the ball or catching the ball, just making plays and having the ball in your hands. I think, especially when you're a young player like Jordan. Jordan has, as a freshman, he's got 3 years after this year, and he's just getting started this year.
What do you see from South Carolina's defense and the influence Will Muschamp has? Brett mentioned a little bit that he had a lot of respect for Will's defense.
Yeah, he's obviously a very, very good coach, and they're very well coached, and they're very sound, and they play extremely hard, and they're very multiple, and they do a lot of different things, and it gives you a lot to prepare for. And he was at Auburn 2 years ago when I was here, and again, the guy, he's got a great reputation for a reason. He's a really good football coach.
What's their style? Do they have something?
Well, they're multiple. They're a 4-down team that gets into 3 down. They get into bear looks. They get into choke looks. They're multiple in their coverages. So, like a lot of people that we play in this league, present challenges with your preparation, just with their multiplicity.
They've got 28 tackles for a while, so what's going to keep that?
I think, again, their multiplicity, I think, plays into it. They move their defensive line around. And again, they get into odd fronts with 4-down people. They get into bear looks. They got a really, really nice blitz package. They attack you from all areas of the field with their blitz package. It may not be a lot in numbers, the percentages of how many times they blitz, but when they do blitz, it's very effective. And sometimes that's the best way to blitz, in my opinion, is when they don't do it a lot, you get people to get lulled to sleep a little bit, and then when you throw stuff at them, it's effective, and they've been very efficient with their blitz game.
Enos Stewart, just kind of what you felt turning around there this last game compared to the
I don't know if anything turned it around. He got more opportunities, and he got open when he got the opportunity and caught the ball. You know, we try to get all the guys involved in the game plan as much as we can. Obviously, I can't dictate what coverage they play and who gets open and who doesn't. I wish I could. Be a lot easier to call plays, but we each and every week we try to get guys involved, and we tried to get Dion some touches, and just like we had the other weeks. And this week he caught that bubble screen, got him going. He ran a great route on the comeback that he caught. He's explosive. I think he, like everybody else, when you're a young player, you need some confidence, and hopefully we gave him a shot of that this week, and he continued to build off that for the rest of the season.
I don't know if you noticed this stuff during the game when you're making calls. Cole, you got the first down, we fumbled, and you guys recovered it, so it's a good outcome, but he still signaled, first down. You notice that? Did you get a kick out?
No, we were discussing the fumble, so I didn't see the signal, but thanks for telling me. We'll talk about that now.
Don't tell him where you're at.
Yeah, I won't tell him where I heard it. Probably won't get back to him. You know what? He fumbled, and obviously we can't have it. But he's a competitor. He bounced back. He will bounce back. He's going to have a role. We're going to do different things with him. He's a tough guy. Love his enthusiasm and his competitiveness. That's what makes Cole Cole. That's, I think, what separates him a little bit from other people is just his want to compete and play. He loves to play.
How you feel about the offensive lines coming off the last week?
Really good. Again, 51 rush attempts. I think in our called rush attempts, we averaged, I think against A&M, we averaged 7.1 yards a carry, and last week was 5 point something. So did a good job against a multiple team that blitzed about 60% of the snaps, a lot of different looks, different fronts, getting in odd fronts, even fronts. They hadn't run any corner blitzes this year. In the second play of the game, they ran a corner blitz, and then we saw several of them throughout the game, so our guys made adjustments on the sidelines. But they're doing a good job. We're playing multiple guys in there. Paul Ramirez is playing. Ty Clary continues to get better. Johnny Gibson's moving from tackle to guard. Colton Jackson had a couple plays he would like to have back, but he also had some of the best plays I've seen him have this year. Pulling and getting after a corner, the strain, the physicality. Franks continues to play very well. Yelda's playing well. So they're getting better. They're gelling. Again, we run the ball a lot. We continue to run the ball a lot, and they're doing a good job there. We got to continue to do a great job in pass protection because, as I mentioned, you can't get predictable in this league and be one-dimensional. You got to have the ability to throw the ball, or at least give people the illusion you're going to throw the ball, or you're going to get loaded boxes, and you're going to get put in some tough situations, run the ball. So we got to continue to work on our pass protection and get better in that area. And our receivers got to continue to work to get open. We got to continue developing our screen game. I think our line has done a really good job in our screen game. I think that goes probably unnoticed by the normal eye. Just the ability, the timing, the ability to get out in front and to get on people and block them. I think is a skill. I think Kurt Anderson's done a tremendous job last year and this year teaching our guys timing and the exact details of our run game of our screen game, and I think that's been a real nice added dimension to our offense.
I know David's valuable on the field for you guys, but for a lot of guys that haven't been to South Carolina, what kind of value could you bring in game prep this week for what you guys are going to do?
Great point. I think he can talk to our guys about the environment, about the locker rooms, about what to expect and not to expect. Obviously, you see the tape, so you see the X's and O's and all those things. You may not need him for that. He can maybe give you a word or two of strengths and weaknesses of a couple guys if he needs to do that. But I think just the overall environment, atmosphere, and everything, I think it could be a really good plus for our guys to hear about some of that. As you mentioned, guys haven't been there before, so I think that'd be good.
How'd you assess Austin's play, Austin Allen?
Outstanding. 2 minuses in the game. Played very well. Was very accurate. I thought the guy was great feet. Hung in there twice. Got hit and delivered the ball right on time in small windows. Played very, very well, very solid.
Brett said the analytics said that fourth down situations would be mostly go for it. So did you have a bigger than normal, what was your fourth down approach to this game?
Well, coach is real good about telling me, hey, you got 4 here, as early as he can, so that might affect the second and third down calls. Obviously you want to make it on third. We don't try to call the game, to get close to go for it on fourth. We want to make it on third, but it's nice to know in advance, obviously, because it can affect what you're going to do with your third down call and sometimes your second down call. And coach is real good about giving me that information as soon as possible.
Have you ever been involved in a game with Columbia before?
No.
And this will be your all's first true road game of the year. I know you played Arlington, that's neutral. How do you think the offense will handle, the noise, and probably about 80,000 people there?
Yeah, it's good. It's always a challenge. I think, Texas A&M was loud. I mean, that stadium's loud, so it didn't matter. My 3 years there, it doesn't matter who has the ball, it's loud. Even when we come up for warm-ups, it's loud in there in Dallas. So I think that was a really, really good warm-up for what we're going to see. And obviously, we'll have to have a plan for it, and we'll have to work it on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, which we will. But it's going to put communication at a premium and guys to be focused and detailed. And winning on the road, there's a secret there. There's a formula to it. You gotta keep your game, be simple. You gotta be focused. You gotta do your job first and foremost. When you come out of the locker room, you got to exceed your opponent's intensity level, which they got a little extra juice with their crowd and everything. But winning on the road, there's a formula for it, and we'll work through that this week.
You have any idea if Brett was going to do the hokey pokey?
No, I didn't.
What'd you think?
Thought it was very interesting. But it was that the guys looked like they enjoyed it. Coach looked like he enjoyed it. So I guess after a win, you can go in there and about do almost anything, and it seems like a good time at the time. But it was fun. It was fun to see Coach loosen up, and it was good to see our guys have a good time with it.
Did you hokey pokey?
Absolutely. I've been at a few weddings where they did that, so I had a little bit of experience, not a lot, but a little bit.
So you joined in the locker room?
Yep. Oh, yeah. It's a win. Win in Rome. Coach was pretty loose. He was a lot looser than I thought. He did a nice job. He definitely was leading the group. To be quite honest with you, I think a lot of our guys already knew how to do it, which I was a little bit surprised at. But some of them were bewildered at first. But I think after the left foot in, left foot out, after the first turn, it was pretty good. The clapping, I think, was something we got to get on the same page about when really exactly is the best time to clap. Between, is it 1 clap? Is it 3 claps? We might have to get some coaching points on that.
So the whole team was doing it?
Yeah.
Hey, last one, Shine O'Grady, I haven't gone back and looked, but I think all nine of his catches was going for first downs or touchdowns. How important will he be to you guys?
He's emerging, played a good game this week. He's played really well. I think he had 2 drops against A&M, but, those will happen. But he's playing really fast in the pass game. He's a guy that we're getting to the point now where we're like, we got to get him in there and get him some targets. Big 4th down catch, excellent route on that 4th down catch too, and got up the field. Did a nice job on the catch on the sideline, getting up the field too. But he's shown what he's shown. I think even in the bowl game to now is that I think he was, in my mind, I had him a little bit underrated in what you're talking about, run after catch. I think he's pretty good in run after catch scenarios. He can run. He gets upfield quickly. I think he understands football and where the first down marker is and everything. And he's really getting better as a blocker too, which again is helping us. And then we can play him, and we want to be able to play him in all situations. And he's emerging. He's getting there. He's working really hard at it too.
Thanks, Coach.
Okay, thank you.